So, hello everyone, and welcome to yet another recreational programming session with Mr. Zozin. So, we're developing this game, pretty cool game actually. It works at, okay, so it works at 40 FPS, look at that. So it's probably gonna go down over time as we consume more and more resources. Right, so there's not really that much game. Right, and it's super loud right now, so let me actually turn it down. Right, so this is basically what we have so far. The sort of like a feature of this game is that it's purely software rendered, right? It's purely software rendered, and we're rendering it like the old school Doom style, right? So we're raycasting and stuff like that, and I want to keep it that way. I don't plan to use any WebGL or WebGPU or anything like that. I really want to keep it like a software rendered. And I was thinking what kind of game I want to actually create out of that, like with this engine. And I came to a conclusion that an interesting game would be probably an online multiplayer game, right? And not only an online multiplayer game, but the one that doesn't really require installing a client or anything like that. So my idea would be just the game is just a thing, a program that you run. It starts up a web server. It starts up web server. You join that web server in a browser, and you start playing. So if somebody else opens the same server in their browser, they join as a new player. And you can start playing with each other. You just like go to the website and you start playing with other people who went to the same website. This is sort of my idea that I kind of want to implement. The problem is that I never implemented multiplayer games. Like I have no idea how the fuck to do that. Really, like I have no idea how to do that. And I'm not really that experience with network applications in general. I'm not really that experienced with network application, but I think that's the reason to try to tackle that anyway. Right, so because that way I'll be forced to learn something new. And so what I want to do, I want to dedicate today's session to just experimenting and exploring how could you write such network multiplayer online game, using browser web technologies, right? So we're going to be writing that in JavaScript and stuff like that, but we're not going to be doing that directly on this game. I want to experiment on a more simple example separately, so then I can figure out how to do that, and then I'm going to try to integrate that into the game. So, and here's an interesting thing. I want to add the networking capabilities to this game as early as possible, because I heard from way more experienced game developers that if you plan to make an online multiplayer game, you should add network capabilities early on, like preferably right away. The multiplayer is not something that you can slap after you finish the game. So multiplayer system, so I heard, like I have no idea, like I have no experience in this kind of stuff. So the multiplayer capabilities have to evolve with the game. You can't just add them later. They have to be integrated right away, because the way you do networking may change depending on what kind of features your game has, and it has to be like really tightly integrated, right? So it's a completely different game if you don't have a network. As soon as you add network, it becomes a different class of game completely, which requires different kind of architecture even. So people say it's true, like I don't know, right? So but I heard a lot of horror stories where people tried to develop a game first and then just slap networking on top of it, and they get burned so fucking hard they never try to do that like at all. So I'm gonna try to learn from someone else's mistake, right? So I'm gonna try to add networking early on. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. Yeah, what we're gonna do, like what kind of examples do I wanna create? Essentially, I wanna create an example where you join the website and you play as some sort of like maybe circle in a 2D space, and you can control that circle with the arrow keys or something like that. So if somebody else joins, they join as a different circle with a different color, and they also can move around, and you can see them moving around. Right, so, and like several people can join and they can see how they change their position and stuff like that. I want to experiment on I guess it is like it's like Slitherio or whatever, Agario, right? It's this kind of games. That sounds interesting. Maybe I should try to like implement Agario or whatever. Yeah, so you run around as a circle and stuff like that. I don't know. It's gonna be super simple. Yeah. First, before I go into that, I want to establish sort of like a mental framework. How do I think about these kind of applications and these kind of games? Let me actually plug in my tablet and I'm going to draw a little bit. Right, so I'm going to draw a little bit. So let's start my paint. Because I feel like network client-server applications are not that fundamentally different from regular applications, right? So imagine that you have a game, right? So you have your game, something like this, right? And it's a single-player game. So what you usually have? You usually have some sort of input, right? So here is your input, which is probably keyboard, mouse, how do you spell mouse? Mouse, and gamepad, right? So gamepad, joystick, the stick of joy, right? So and stuff like that. So you have this kind of sort of like an input. The input goes into the game, and then goes the output, right? So then after the game accepted the input, it computed the next state of the game, and it sort of like displayed that state in the output, which is usually monitor, right? So it's a monitor. So what else? Sound, right? So it's the speakers, etc., etc., etc. So basic thing, right? So if we're talking about like a old game consoles, right? So that had several joysticks, several gamepads. So the architecture of the game would be slightly different, right? So even though such game is multiplayer, when you have several joysticks, it doesn't involve any networking, so you can still kind of treat it as a single player game with just an additional input, right? So the input for the second player. Right, and fundamentally, game doesn't really change that much, right? So it's just like you have more input to handle. That's it. So, yeah. So networking kind of adds a lot of complexity, but if there is no networking involved, but still there is several people, it's actually pretty much the same. It's actually pretty much the same. So, and as I usually like to do things, let's imagine the dumbest solution possible, right? So the way I like to explore things and I like to learn things is that, okay, I have a problem. What's the dumbest moronic solution I can come up with? Right, let's implement that. And then let's see what are exact specific problems we're experiencing with that solution and start iterating on them and improving them. So if I want to make a multiplayer game where the inputs are actually located on separate computers, right? So for example, game is on one computer, the server, then you have two clients, and basically you have two inputs over a network on separate computers. So let's actually see how it's going to look like. So this is going to be server, right? So this is the server, and this is the client. This is the client, and this is the client. So maybe client 1, client 2, but I don't really want to enumerate them. So something like this. So the way it's supposed to work, right? So the client sends the input, and the server tells what to display. So in a most ideal situation, let's imagine that we have infinite resources. We have like infinitely fast network, like with a latency equal to 0 or something like that. Like it's instant, like it's so fast. When we have this kind of network, we can actually treat this system of server plus client as basically a single device, can't we? We actually can, right? So essentially, in that case, this system is not that much different from this one, right? So a gamepad, you can think of a gamepad as just a client which is connected over very, very fast network, right? And in that case, essentially what you can do, client just takes all of the input it receives from the user. It takes all of the input it receives from the user, and it sends all of the input to the server. Server updates the state and sends back the entirety of the state of the game to the client, and client just displays that. And of course, it does that for each individual client. So you can think about the system as multiple keyboards, multiple gamepads, and also multiple displays. Right. So and we had like infinitely fast servers, infinitely fast clients, infinitely fast networks. You could implement it like that, and it would be really easy, and it would be kind of close to this kind of situation. Can't you? Right. It's just like you kind of write separate programs for server and client, where you don't really have to do that in here. But this is not really something that you're not used to per se. Right. So it's kind of like when we are programming some sort of a system, we quite often write separate programs that we run on separate parts of those systems. In case of web applications, web developers are really familiar with this kind of concept. You have front end and back end. So essentially, you connect to a server. Server sends you back a program that the client is supposed to run. That program connects back to the server, and now you have two programs communicating with each other, right? And what's interesting is that this kind of situation also happens even on a single machine. You would imagine, oh, it's only web applications. No, on a single machine, that also happens when you're doing graphics with GPU. Shaders are programs that run on a GPU. So when you run an application on a CPU, what it does, it takes a shader, a program that runs on GPU, uploads it to GPU, establishes the connection between this program, and now you have two programs running on CPU and one program running on GPU, and they're communicating and telling each other like what needs to be done. Usually it's from CPU to GPU. I don't know, from GPU to CPU. Is there any information? Maybe there is some information, but I'm not a graphics programmer, right? This kind of idea that you program a single system, but yet for different parts of the system, you write completely separate programs that communicate with each other. It's actually super common. There's nothing new in here. So even though I never worked with these kind of network applications, right, I'm kind of already familiar with this concept that I have system of several parts with different programs, right? So I'm totally fine with that. So it kind of fits with my current mental model. So yeah, it's basically, it's just a keyboard that runs a signal over a very slow wire, and also I can program that keyboard. I can send some code into that keyboard and it could do some things for me, right? So I should treat it like that. So, but obviously, sending the entirety of the state of the game from the server to each of the clients, it's kind of a waste of resources. Like if we just run away from the concept of infinite resources, like this is going to be a waste of resources. It's going to be super slow. We're not going to go anywhere. We're not going to go anywhere. How can we solve that? Well, we can actually calculate the state of the program on clients as well. Let's actually let all of the parts of the system have a copy of the state of the game. Basically have a copy of the state of the game. And they're running these copies simultaneously, right? They're running them simultaneously and they're updating them simultaneously. Right, so and essentially if one client receives some sort of an input, it sends that input to the server. Usually the input is probably going to be very small. You probably start holding the key, right? We notify the server, oh, we're holding the key that moves to the right. Right, so the server takes a note. Oh, okay, so this client is holding a key to the right, and notifies all the clients. Everyone, that motherfucker is holding key to the right. And everyone simultaneously, okay, I'm updating my state as if that motherfucker is holding key to the right. But we're not sending the state to everyone all the time. We're all computing our own state. We're just saying what happened in the system. What happened in the system. And of course, like different computers run differently, maybe at different frame rates and stuff like that. So, and this state may actually differ over time. They can accumulate some sort of a difference between them. So because of that, there should be also additionally some sort of a mechanism that lets servers to say, okay, let's synchronize our states, right? We've been running for quite some time, right? Probably some discrepancies has been accumulated. Okay, let's synchronize each other. So here is the state, all right? So and then we send the entirety of the state or something like that, right? So this is basically my idea as a person who never done any game multiplayer network programming in my entire life. This is my trail of thoughts. Do we have any professional game developers in the chat? Is that the right direction to think towards to? Is that the right direction at all? Because it kind of makes sense, right? So that's what you want to do, right? So it's basically a single system. You can treat it as a single gaming console, right? But with different parts that are connected over slow connections. So I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense. So I built a multiplayer engine that runs natively as well WebAssembly, but has a hobby. Oh, okay, cool. It works. I work with something close to that. This works very well. Okay, it's reassuring actually. It's reassuring. Sounds like a plan. No idea if that's the right way. Exactly. I also don't know if that's the right way, but I think it's a good start, right? I think it's a good start. Let's try to implement this idea of you connect to a web page, right? And you connect as a circle, and you can move around, and you can see other circles moving around who connected through the browser using this architecture, right? So let's try to do that and see how it's going to go. All right, so let's go ahead and just create a project where we're going to do all that. Okay, good. So, Tsoding, how should I call the project? I don't know, multiplayer game, yeah, prototype. Multiplayer game prototype. So this is how we're going to call this entire thing. Right, so the idea is that we're going to be using the TypeScript, right, and we're going to be communicating over WebSockets. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to npm. Need to initialize this scheiße. While we are initializing the scheiße, I think I need to acknowledge the subs. Thank you so much, Stausi1337, 41 subscription with the message. So I'm making an IO game. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing. So the package name, okay, so version that, blah, 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 nothing particularly special. Keywords, author, license is going to be MIT, and yes, everything is okie dokie a karaoke. So let me install as a dev dependency TypeScript. Right, let's go ahead and do that. Installing the TypeScript. So everything's fine. Okay, so we got some stuff in TypeScript, which is very, very cool. All right, so, and I suppose in here, I want to take the TypeScript compiler, right? So, and let's actually initialize the compiler, right? So that is supposed to create the TSC config, TS config. Okay, so everything seems to be fine. Yeah, I think I right away want to set the target to 2022. Right, so I want to use the latest one. And in terms of the modules, I also want to use 2022. We're not going to be using CommonJS. Does anybody use this like a legacy module format, like a CommonJS or something like that? Or is everybody using like ES modules these days? Right, I think there's no reason to not use ES modules. Because they're really convenient and they're supported even in the browser. So like everyone should use them. For new projects, Oh, only for new projects. Damn. Because like I was about to say, if you have like a normal modules, why the fuck do you need all of these packages like Webpack or White or Vite? Like why the fuck do you need all of this crap if you just have a normal modules? Because I thought all of this crap is needed because JavaScript didn't have modules. Now you have modules, so you can throw away all of that crap. Right. A lot of stuff still on CommonJS. Okay, I see. I suppose it's really hard to migrate all that stuff, right? So understandable. All right. So let me actually do maybe a watch mod. I really like to have some sort of like a watch mod. I think I'm gonna create a separate script in the scripts. In the script, right? So it's gonna be watch, and the watch is gonna be TSC watch or something like that. Right, so I just like to do this kind of thing. So watch, and it just runs this entire thing in watch. No inputs were found. Understandable, perfectly understandable. So let's create maybe let's create server and client, right? So we're gonna have something like a server TS, right? So we have server TS, and in here we're gonna say just console log hello from server, right? So and let's create a client TS. It's gonna be console log hello from client. There we go. Everything is compiling. Okay, so and that generated the JS, right? So look at that. We generated some JS. All right. So package JSON. So there's some other things I want you to do. I think I want you to also enable source maps. I think source maps are going to be super useful for us. Yeah, there we go. It's kind of cool that it automatically just picks up all that stuff and just like enables everything. Alrighty, so I wonder if I can try to run the server. Right, so I need to go there. So node, can you even see what I'm doing in there? I think you should be able to see that. Node server JS. Hello from server. And if we do client, it's going to say hello from client. But we want to run client from the browser, so we probably want to create something like index.html. Let's go ahead and do that. Right, so I'm going to switch to HTML mode. I don't know. Some time ago, I just by default set XML mode for HTML, and I'm too lazy to actually change that. So yeah, it's still using XML mode. So let's do head. Actually, I think in the HTML mode, I have a special sort of like a shortcut. Yeah, I can do shit like that. Look at that. Look at that. Can your Visual Studio Code do that? I don't fucking think so. And I think I have Taggy, which is like in line. Look at that. Look at that efficiency. Look at that speed, violence, momentum. Oh, I forgot Dr. Disrespect got cancelled. Anyway, whatever. So I keep forgetting. Like who got cancelled when and where is freaking internet. Internet these days is fucking insane. Anyway, so multiplayer game prototype. So in here we have canvas, and the idea is going to be the game, right? So my favorite kind of canvas. And in here we're going to have script src client JS. So this is a script. All right. So now I need to serve this mother flipper. Right. I need to serve the, HTML page. So that means I need to add more dev dependency. Did they even add TypeScript as a, yeah, so this is a dev dependency. Okay. Let's install more dependencies. Okay. So HTTP server. Right, so HTTP server, and let's actually save it as a dev dependency. Save dev. Let's go. Let's go. All right, so it's installing something. Is there any way for like to show a current tree? Like in Cargo you have Cargo tree that shows the tree of dependencies and stuff like that, so you can see how much bloat your application has. Do we have something like npm tree? Do we have anything like that? We don't even have npm tree. npm-ls, okay. It even has, but this is not it. This is not true. Where is the rest of the 1,000 dependencies HTTP server actually depends on? Where is all of that shit? Is that under the flag somewhere? Like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is this? So all, okay. So let's do all. Nah, fucking cowards. Fuck, they knew that. They fucking knew that. This is why they put it behind the flag. Holy fucking shit. Because they knew that it will make it look bad for everyone. So they had to put, oh my fucking goodness. Holy shit, this is so pathetic. Ah, da da da, da 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 da. Ah, web devs, am I right? Web devs. Like, I'm fucking telling you, web devs are constantly lying, cheating, and deceiving. This is exactly what I said on that video where we did Quine and stuff like that. Freaking web devs. Right. They do that with native applications. They tell you, oh, you can write native applications on JavaScript. And no, you have to ship an entire fucking browser with it. It's just freaking web devs. Freaking web devs. I'm joking, by the way. I'm joking. Anyways. Or am I? I don't fucking know. So, alright, whatever. So we got some stuff. So I think I need to bring the watch.js script that I use in the raycasting. It's actually a very convenient script, honestly. Rather convenient script. So raycasting. So look at that. Like in the raycasting, I have watch.js, which basically contains, you know, two commands. So it runs TSC in watch mode and simultaneously runs the HTTP server. Also, it runs the hot reloading stuff, but I think I'm not going to support hot reloading for this like a test application, right? So I don't really need hot reloading in here. Right, so it just like runs these two commands simultaneously, right? And it works. So it automatically recompiles all the TypeScripts and also serves the content of the folder, which is rather convenient in my opinion. Anyways, so we're gonna go into the package.json and instead of tscw, we're gonna just do node watch.js. tscw, as you can see, is already run by this script. It's just like it's only needed to run these two things simultaneously. Okay, so let me restart the whole thing, right? So something's fishy. Module not found. It is trying to load the WS and some other shite, so we don't need any of that shite anymore. And as you can see, it is working. It is working. Now, if I go to localhost 69 R69, right, I think it loaded successfully. And if we take a look at the console, it says hello from client. There we go. We set up a web project. That's pretty cool. So we do have WebSockets in a browser, right? So WebSockets are already available, so you can just do WebSocket. Yeah, you can just have WebSockets, but you don't really have WebSockets in Node.js. You kind of have to install them, right? So as far as I know, it's WS, right? And it's not really development dependency. It's like an actual dependency. So let's actually do save in here. So this is going to be WS. Right. And how do you install typings for WS, right? Is it something like, I vaguely remember it's like a typed WS, right? How do you do typings, chat? So install TypeScript typings for WebSockets. It's a type/WS. Okay, so let me actually confirm that. Okay, so, all right, okay. Let's go ahead and do that. So maybe I should have saved it as a dev dependency. Not found. So types, not typed, types, and it's a dev dependency. All right, let's go. We can do that, chat. We can fucking do that, mate. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Now let me open this entire thing up, and can I just like import, you know, everything as WS from WS? Is that something I can do? Is it going to work? Let's take a look at the errors. There's no errors in here, so that means I can just, okay, that's pretty cool. So if we take a look at aptwd, all right, so we got the typings, which is rather convenient. So I suppose we will need things like WebSocket server. Okay, so WebSocket. I think it's called WebSocket server. Is it called WebSocket server? No, it's not called WebSocket server. I can't even go there anymore. Are you fine? So 1. So if you do that, you don't have to do that. So yeah, there we go. So we have a server. Alright, so because I remember in raycasting watch.js, WebSocket server, how do you create? Yeah, so we create it. You also provide the parameters and stuff like that. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so we have WebSockets. How are we going to be doing all that? So let's create a WebSocket. New WebSocket server. Right, we got that. But the question is, what are the parameters that we can have in here? So when we are constructing the server, we can have server options. All right, so what are the server options? You can have port, host, backlog, and stuff like that. I suppose the only thing we kind of care about is the port. All right, so port 6969 is already kind of taken. So I suppose what we'll have to do is maybe use 6970, the same thing that we do in a hot reloading server in raycasting. So let's do something like server port, right? So this is going to be 6970, right? And that's what we're going to be doing here. So we're going to just post port server port like so. And does it even compile? It seems to be compiling. So the thing we have to do, we have to use on method. And yeah, I suppose we only care about the connections as of right now. So that's the only event we care about. So connection. And when we do the connection, so we have a callback. This is a server. And the second thing is a socket. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So this is going to be socket. Let's call WS. And we can maybe print something like console log somebody connected. Boom. Right. Interesting. So let's actually try to run it. So how can I even run it? I think the easiest thing for me would be to just do a separate command in here, something like maybe server, and let's just do node server JS. Right, I don't want to run it as part of the watch because I'm going to be constantly rerunning this entire thing. Right, so and then I'm going to do run server. Is it going to run? Cannot import a module outside of the statement. Outside of the module. Oh, by the way, I remember. I think JavaScript modules, they, for some freaking reason, have a different extension or something like that. Do you guys know anything about that? Right, so I remember there was something like MGS or whatever, type module in your package JSON. Maybe we can do, like, I don't want to like add this kind of shit. So is there something like, I recently, yeah, so MGS JavaScript. So what's up with that? The difference between, and I think if the file has an MGS extension, it's automatically run as module. It indicates ES6 module file. Okay, Node.js original module system is common JS, which require, since Node.js was created, okay, Node.js will treat CGS files as common and MGS as ECMA. Okay, so it even recognizes CGS files as well. Right, so, but the question is there something like MTS files? Like you know, TypeScript, MTS files, MTS TypeScript. Is that a thing even? MTS is a cool file extension. This is the this is a state of web dev, by the way. It's not even tabs versus spaces. It's like, it's not even a new trivial framework every month. They're getting hyped up about a fucking extension. That's how much software development has degraded. It's insane. Anyways. So yeah, the extension. Okay, it's named after me. Okay, it's their nickname, I suppose. Maybe we should give it a try. Maybe we should give it a try. Let's give it a try. So what if I call it MTS? Oh, so I have a watch mode running, so it automatically recompiled and that automatically created MGS. Okay, so it means I can remove that shit. So now if I rename this thing, yeah, and that's actually kind of funny, right? So the TypeScript compiler does know about all these extensions. Okay, so it's pretty cool. And in a package JSON, if I just run this entire thing, right? Can I just run it? Yeah, I can. Right. So it automatically switches to the module, mode or whatever. So pretty cool. But it's unclear if it's listening to anything. So let's actually do the following thing. Oh, it doesn't even highlight. Doesn't even highlight this shit. So let me quickly do that. So where was the TypeScript? Scheiße. So how do you add? Oh, this is how you add the new extensions, like new hooks in here. So if the extension is MTS, just enable the freaking TypeScript mode, bro. Just enable the TypeScript mode. Oh, right. And now let me close this shit. And if I open this stuff, okay, so that automatically does that. Alrighty. So what I want you to do, I want you to just put something like console log, and we're gonna say listening to WS localhost. Let's say we're going to do server port or whatnot. And let me try to run this entire thing one more time. Listening to this thing. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that poggers? Isn't that poggers? I think it's pretty freaking poggers. Can we now connect to all of that shit in a client? So let me find MTS. Oh, by the way, will just using MGS here work? That's a good question. Unexpected token export. I was hoping that maybe the browser will see MGS extension and will also switch to the module mode. Apparently, it's not going to work like that. So let's do it like this. Let's go. Okay, so hello from client. So now that means we will be able to just like do imports and stuff like that. Let me see. MGS. Well, I mean, in a server MGS, we already do imports, and that works fine in a so-called module mode. Anyways, TS is not as cool as MTS, probably. Okay, so in a client, what we have to do, meine Freunde, why are you not? Yeah, there we go. Now we're talking. So let's do a closure, not really closure, but I mean the lambda. Let's just fucking run this lambda. So what we're gonna do in here, we need to create a new socket, a web socket. And how do you even connect to this scheiße? So where's the constructor? I don't see the constructor. Show me the constructor. I don't see it. All right, so let me go to the raycaster and find how you connect to the sockets. Right, new web okay, so you literally just do that. All right, so you literally just do that, and then you have the connection WS. All right, so and in here I think it's on. So you have to use add the event listener instead, but we could have used like onload or some other stuff. So and in a listener you provide the type, which is K, which is a key of WebSocket event map. Right, so we have open. Let's actually try to add listeners to all of these things, right, just to see what the fuck is going on. Right, and let's log on all of them. Right, so this is going to WS, add event listener. And in here, we're gonna do this thing. So we get the event. Something went horribly wrong in here. So let me try to fix that. There we go. This is what I wanted. And let's do console logo. So it's gonna be WebSocket, le socket. Then we're gonna grab this entire scheisse, boom, and also print the event. Just want to see the entirety of the event. All right. Okay, so let's save this entire thing. Does it compile? It doesn't even fucking compile, mate. Okay, so add lister, not lister, but listener. Lister, listener, boom. Do you compile? You in fact compile already, so that's pretty cool. Pretty poggers, pretty mother flipping poggers. Okay, so if I refresh the whole thing now, okay, WebSocket opened. And in here, somebody connected. It's that freaking easy. It's that freaking easy. Why people are getting stuck in the tutorial hell? Just write some code and it just works. All right. Who is somebody? Somebody. Okay. So what do we need in here? What do we need in here? Let's go into the server. Let's go into the server. So essentially, we want to kind of, as soon as somebody connects, we probably want to register them in some sort of a table that maps that connection to the state of the player, right? So let's actually maybe introduce the state of the player. So it's going to be interface, let's say player. And the player is probably going to have a position, right? So, and this is the only state that we're going to be keeping track of. Right, so we don't want to make overcomplicated example. The point of this example is to have something working, something twerking, right? So this is going to be X number and Y number. So that means we need to have some sort of like a players. And we need to map the connection to the player, right? So that means, do we have a map? I think we do have a map, right? New map. Right, so yeah, there is a map in here. So we're mapping WebSocket. All right, so we probably need to take the WebSocket. So yeah, so we're mapping WebSocket to the player. Right, so we have players in here. Cool. So I suppose another thing we need to do, we need to create the player first. So what's going to be the location of the player? I feel like the location has to be random. So let's use math random, but it depends on what's the size of the screen. So the server has to be concerned of, it's not really the size of the screen, it's more like a size of the world. Right, let's introduce something like a world width, right? So, and maybe world height, right? And we're gonna have something like that. So world width and world height. But this is something that the client should know as well. Right, this is something that the client should know as well. And in fact, we're going to be sharing the state between servers and clients. So that means there will be a lot of code sharing between these two applications. So I suppose they need to have some sort of like a common module, right, which is imported both by the client and the server. Right, and we can move all of these constants in there, like maybe on the world width and world height, but server port. Well, I mean, client also kind of concerned about the server port. Yeah, actually, server port is also a thing that you probably want to share between them. Right, so let's create something like a common MTS. Right, so and let's simply move this stuff in here. Right, so and let's import everything as common from common MTS, right? But I suppose, okay, so it's already compiled. Okay, so what does it say? So an import path can only end with MTS extension when allow importing TS extension is enabled. So what MTS does again? It's basically TypeScript, but ES6 module. Right. Like, why is that behind a feature flag? Like, out of all things. Allow importing TS extension. Allow imports to include TypeScript file extension. Requires modular resolution bundler and I don't know emit declaration. What the fuck is... I accidentally opened a can of worm. Okay. Jesus fucking Christ, bro. Can I just do MGS? I think you can. It's just like, yeah. So let me see. Can I access this thing like that? Does not exist. Is that common MT? I probably have to export them. Do I have to export them? Yeah. Okay. Let's go. So, and all of that shit is common. Server port. So we use it in two places. Yeah, I see. Common. Yeah, let's go. Fuck, let's go. Why can't you do MTS? It's so fucking weird. Like, it's not that hard for TypeScript compiler. Just replace MTS with MGS. It's like, what's up with that? So if I do like MTS in TS, just then replace it with the MGS. Actually, TypeScript does way more complicated substitution than that. A module resolution in Node. Oh yeah, because it's supposed to work with different kinds of module. Oh my god. Anyway. Okay. Whatever. It's not my problem, it's the problem of Microsoft. I don't have to deal with that. Well, it's now my problem as well, but whatever. Okay, so let's take a look at the players. How do I do that? Yeah, okay, so set, I want to set WS and the player. Right, so, yeah, there we go. Cool. What we are going to do, so we're going to be actually, yeah, we kind of want to kind of keep track of the player. Like, look. So even though socket uniquely identifies the player on the server, but the client doesn't know shit about the server-side sockets, right? So it's not a reliable way to identify the players. Is it? Is it not? I think it is. The missile knows where it is because it knows where it isn't. So we need to have some sort of a fucking ID on the player. ID is nuts, I mean number. Fuck. Oh. We're getting deep into this rabbit hole. Now we need to have some sort of an ID system. Damn. Okay. So how are we going to be generating IDs? Is this like Twitter Snowflake or whatever? Twitter Snowflake. What's the, you know, UUID? Math random. Can we just have like a counter? Right. Like, I know you're not supposed to use a sequential counter, but this is not really a classical web application or anything like that. It's just like it's a game. Yeah, count plus plus. I mean, come on. So we can always improve it later, right? So we can always improve it later. So let's do const ID counter plus plus, right? So, and let's put ID in here. One of the things we can do afterwards, by the way, we can try to notify the client, here's your fucking ID, motherfucker. So, yeah, Twitter snowflakes. Oh my god, this is such a fucking irony. It never fucking occurred to me. Wait. It never fucking occurred to me that the mechanism, the ID mechanism for like Twitter is called snowflakes. It's literally fucking Twitter snowflakes. Oh my, it never fucking, like I knew about that for so long and it never fucking occurred to me. Holy shit, this is such an irony. I'm sorry if it's too loud. Anyways, let's continue. Why it never occurred to me? You tweet about it. Maybe I'm gonna tweet about it. But I mean, how many people know about ID mechanism of Twitter? I mean, I know that tech community is supposed to know that, but we're talking about tech communities in 2024. The people who have computer science education happening on programming humor subreddit. So I don't expect that many people from this kind of computer science education to know what is a Twitter snowflake. So anyway, we want to notify the player about their ID, right? Tech communities on Twitter, yeah, exactly. So we can just go ahead and send that thing, right? So we can send it. So as far as I know, you can only send like buffers and shit, like strings and whatnot. And so essentially, I want to send the JSON object, right? So, which is probably a bad idea for real-time games. You know what I'm talking about? It would be better to use some sort of like a binary protocol, but this is the web tech we're talking about. So I know that there was like a binary version of JSON. Did you guys hear about it? So I think it's Bson, right, or something. Yeah, boy. Does anybody use this? Does anybody even use this? Like, I rarely hear about it. MongoDB. Okay, interesting. How good of an idea to use that to communicate between the server and the browser? Because the thing is, the advantage of the browser is that the browser has a JSON parse, which is literally implemented in C++, right? So an advantage of the browser is that you have a built-in JSON parser, which is like a very high-performance C++ parser, and it's super fucking fast. So, and if you have some sort of other format, you're kind of stuck with parsing this format using JavaScript. Or, okay, so these days maybe you can put the parser in the WebAssembly, but I mean, we're just prototyping, so I probably don't want to use this for prototyping. But exploring this kind of thing would be kind of interesting. Anyway. So we're going to be using JSON. So can I just send something like... So I suppose we're going to be sending some sort of messages, right? So some sort of messages. And yeah, so what kind of messages are going to be sending? So maybe hello? Right. Because it's a kind of a common message like in different protocols, right? Especially SMTP protocol, right, for sending emails and stuff like that. So the first message you send in there is hello message, right? So you connect to the server says hello, and along with hello, it may even tell you who you are, like here's your ID or something. So I think object level may only specify, oh fuck, do I have to convert it? I think it's like, how do you convert it to string? Oh, stringify. Stringify. Yeah, so this is probably what I want to do. All right. So, and I suppose one of the things we probably want to do we have on close? On close, and when I do on close, so we have a close event, you have code, reason, type, target. What's interesting is that, okay, we are initializing all of these listeners within a closure, and within a closure we know the connection, and we know the ID of the player, we know the current state of the player, and so on and so forth, which is kind of cool. So, which makes me think, do I really need a mapping from WebSocket to the player? Because I kind of know this socket all the time anyway. But anyway. All right, whatever. So I want to, when I close this entire thing, I can say something like console log player, let's put it this way, player with this ID disconnected. Right, so they disconnected, which means I can take the players, delete ID, boom. So, and when we connect it, we can say console log player ID connected. All right, so this is the kind of stuff we can have in here. Doesn't even fucking compile, mate. Okay, so what is 30? What's up with that? On close. Cannot evoke object which is possibly null. Are you fucking sure about that? On close. Like, I don't know, we get WS from here, which is the socket, and it's not possibly null. It is not possibly null. So that's kind of bizarre. Can I just like use a regular on in here? So on close. Maybe that's what I need to do. Okay, that actually worked apparently. Okay, 32. What do we have in here? Players, number. Oh, we identify not by ID but by the socket. Okay. All right, that's cool. Okay. I think we figured it out. What's the difference between this and on close? It's so bizarre. It also has once, off. Jesus Christ, bro. Also, why there's so many ways to add a listener to Oh my god. Whatever. Okay. So what do we have? What do we have? Let's restart the server. Let's restart the server. Let me open this thing like that. So I want to actually compare them side by side. Right, and I'm gonna just put it like that, and I'm gonna refresh the whole thing. Look at that. Player 0 connected. WebSocket open. WebSocket message kind hello ID 0. So what if I refresh the page? Player 0 disconnected, player 1 connected. So that's already like a client-server application, Circus Clown application. So yeah, seems to be working, seems to be working. Look at that, chat, look at that. Can your C do that? Can your C do that? We have 2 players. That's a good question, actually. Let's go ahead and do that. So let me, maybe I can just, so I separated this tab. Then I'm gonna put the stuff like that. Right, there we go. And so let's open another one. Localhost 6. Okay, so player 6 connected. Player 6 connected. Then I can close this one. Player 6 disconnected. And then close this one. Player 7 disconnected. It keeps track of all of that shit. All right, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But the players themselves are not really notified about the other existing players, if you know what I'm talking about. Right, they're not really like, you know, notified about that. We also need to probably handle the hello message somehow. Right, but I want to do all of that after a small break. So let me make a small break. I'm gonna think how we're gonna organize the, you know, notification about the current state, right? So because once you connect to the server for the first time, you obviously don't have a copy of the state that you need to incrementally update. You obviously don't have it. So upon connecting, you need to receive the entirety of the state of the game, right? A copy of the state of the game. So then you can incrementally update it as you receive different events that happen within the game, right? So it's kind of interesting. So hello might need to contain that entire state somehow, right? So along with ID, it should maybe contain, you know, the list of the existing players, the players that are already in the game, right? I think that makes sense, right? So it's a little bit more complicated than here. So yeah, I think I'm starting to understand why network games are so hard and people try to avoid doing that. Because the fact that now we have an ID system, we keep in track of the players with IDs and stuff like that. Oh my god, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fucking fun. Anyway, let's make some break. And okay, so let's try to handle the hello message in the client. So it's gonna be MTS, and how are we gonna be handling the message? All right, so I suppose it's an event. localhost 69. 69. Let me take a look at what we have in there. Did we get the message? We got the message. So it is located within data. How do you pronounce data? Data or data? Right. So this is gonna be. Is it even data? So I suppose, yeah, it is. It is. If I just print the data, so you pronounce data. Okay, data. All right, that explains it. All right. So let's see. Okay. So, but I suppose this is a string. Is it a string? Type of. What's the type of this thing? It's a string. Okay. So can I now take the JSON and just parse this entire stuff? So this is a string, event data, and let's call it something like a message, right? So this is the message, and if I refresh that now, so here's the message. But you know what? I think for this specific message, it would be kind of nice to have an interface of some sort. Right, we can even put that in a common MTS, right? So because it's one of the common things, interface hello, right? And we're gonna say kind. I think this is how you do that, right? So you can literally say that a field doesn't really have a type; it has a type of a single like value, right? So this is how you can do, and in fact, this is how you do tagged unions in TypeScript. Tagged unions. So we already googled it up. I kind of vaguely remember, yeah, this one. Yeah, so this is how we do tagged unions in here. So just like you have a tag, right, but that tag has a type of like a single value. And depending on like what you dispatch in which case, it will automatically like infer type of the entire of the interface, which is actually kind of cool. Right, it's kind of similar to how Kotlin, right, when you use is operator, like automatically casts the variable to the specific type that you just checked, right? So it's super convenient actually. So I think I need to add that to the description, right? So this is the article, right? But we're not going to be doing tagged unions right now. But I mean, technically, we're already doing tagged unions. So, anyways, so they're going to be kind and ID, which is going to be a number. So the thing is. We can just cast this entire thing to hello, right? But we'll need to import this entire stuff, right? So I'm going to import this as common from common JS. Let me enable fly check mode. Right. So, and yeah, common JS, and it doesn't work because it's a. Something import. This is such an annoying feature of TypeScript. So it's like you have to import type. Like, why? And is it gonna work? I probably didn't even export this entire thing. Yeah, so I have to export this entire stuff. Are you good? Are you Gucci? Are you Tamaguchi? It seems to be Tamaguchi. Okay, so everything seems to be compiling. Yeah, there's no errors in here. Cool. I can do shit like that, sure. But this is not a check. Right. This is not a check. If we even take a look at the client MGS, yeah, there's no check in here, like a runtime. So essentially, if the server sends bogus amogus message, somewhere down the line we're gonna crash. Somewhere down the line we're gonna crash. We need to be able to check at runtime, check the types at runtime. Welcome to TypeScript. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's try to Google that. All right. So TypeScript, check interface, check if object matches interface at runtime, not compile time, runtime. Can you do that? Check if an object implements an interface at runtime with blah, 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 blah. So I load the JSON configuration file at runtime and use interface to shut the fuck interface to define its expected structure. Okay, cool. Is it convenient to access the various question? Is there a way to use this declaration to check the correctness of the file I load that I want to expected properties? There is a way, but you have to implement it yourself. Fuck you. Why is this so fucking funny? Alright, so there isn't a way, exactly. It's called user-defined type guard, and it looks like this. The fuck am I looking at? Is test accepts any, returns arg is test. Okay, and in here we just check the structure of the interface. So arg is not null, not undefined. It has this property, and that property has the type number. Of course, the actual implementation of isTest function is totally up to you, but the good part is that it's an actual function, which means it's testable. Okay. Wait! Is this like in Kotlin with its is operator or some shit like that? Allow you to narrow down the type. Oh, it is. It fucking is. It is like Kotlin is, but like you have to implement it as a function. Damn, bruv. It's a smart casting like in Kotlin, but it's as a function. So the return type arg is test indicates that after you call this function, this is my hypothesis, after you call this function and it returns true, the type checker will just always assume that the type of this argument is test. So it's a way to communicate the type with the type checker, right? So if this value returned true, in that branch where it is true, assume that the argument you put in here is that. This is actually fucking smart. Why TypeScript compiler doesn't generate these functions automatically for me? I mean, listen. You can say that, oh, TypeScript just generates something that you can strip off, but this motherfucker generates you a polyfill for promises and awaiters when you use a syntax and you're targeting like all the platforms. It generates you polyfills. If it generates you an entire fucking additional runtime, why can't it generate a little bit more runtime for all of these types? Right? Wouldn't it be cool when I defined an interface, right, and then I just use is, and it would generate this code for me automatically? Probably because of again, it is totally fine with polyfilling old features. It like generates an entire runtime, but specifically here, no, it's performable. It's just so dumb. You need to put allow auto-generated type guards kappa, I see. Cheers, everyone. What is polyfilling? That's what you do with your mom at night. Anyway, so let's go ahead and maybe implement some scheisse in here. I'm actually really curious what the fuck is that. So function is hello, right? So we're gonna accept an argument. It's any, and it's going to return arg is hello. I think that's what is going on in here. All right. So, and here, let me copy paste this shit. I just want. This is a lot. Like you have to do quite a few things in here. All right. So we check that arg, I suppose, not undefined and not null. And then it has a property, like a kind property. And that's, so in case of a kind, we just need to check if it's equal to hello. It's actually really easy. But we also need to check that it exists. Is it a little bit unnecessary? Like imagine, all right, let me actually experiment. So let's imagine that I have an object, all right, and I try to take your mom. It's just undefined. And then I can say your mom equal hello. It will just return false. So you don't really need to do that. Like it's kind of a, you know, redundant. You only need to check if arg exists, then it has arg kind, and so on and so forth. Right, so then we need to check arg ID and if type of, okay, so type of undefined is equal to undefined. So you also don't need to check that. What the fuck is this Stack Overflow? Why do you need to do so much stuff? You don't need to do that on this one. Type of arg ID equal number. All right. So does it compile? So let's close this scheisse. Everything seems to be compiled surprisingly. Okay. So we want to export this thing. I said export. All right. So, and in a client, what we want to do? If is hello message, we probably have to do something like common is hello. And if I do message, holy shit, it actually works. It is like Kotlin. It is like fucking Kotlin. Okay, so if I do that in here, it cannot recognize it. Okay, so that's pretty convenient. All right. So yeah, and if you do something like this, we're probably gonna say something received bogus amogus message from and we can specify that. Let's actually put this message in here. And what can we do in case of receiving bogus amogus message? What do you guys think? We can just close the connection. Can we close? Yeah, we can just close it. Fuck you, server. We just close it. Interestingly, so let's keep track of IDs. So we're gonna have my ID. And initially we don't really know it, right? Additionally, we don't really know it, so we're gonna say undefined. And then as soon as we receive the message, we're gonna say, okay, my ID equal to the message ID. There we go. So it's interestingly, I think we can introduce a little bit of a state machine in here. So essentially, we're only gonna do this entire stuff if my ID currently is undefined. Right, when it's undefined, we explicitly waiting for the hello message. My ID doesn't really work in here, so what's up with that? What the fuck is going on, bruv? It's either undefined or number. Yeah, there we go, so that will work. So if my ID is not undefined, that means we already been greeted. Right, we already been greeted. So that's pretty cool. And here we're going to expect other messages. And here, maybe if we receive hello again, this is going to be a bogus amogus message. So whether a particular message is bogus amogus will depend also on the state of the client. That makes sense, right? So because in network applications, like clients also have some sort of like a state machine, right? So I just connect it. I don't know who I am, right? So I'm in that unknown state. As soon as I'm greeted, I'm in a different state, and this is where I can actually start playing and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. What is bogus amogus? This is the message. This is a sus message. It's the message that is sus. Yeah, so that's what it is. So dumb. Anyway, I'm sorry. SAS as in suspend. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we can say something in here. So connected as player, and we can put ID in here. My ID, right? All right, pretty poogers, pretty poogers, pretty poogers. So everything compiles, everything as you can see compiles. Would you look at that? 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 Yo, would you look at that? Let me restart the server just in case. So can you see this stuff? I'm going to do something like this, and I'm going to maybe, why can't you just, yeah, thank you so much. I'm going to refresh this entire thing. Okay, player 0. And we didn't receive anything, did we? No, we didn't. Something went horribly wrong. All right, so we didn't receive the message. I guess that's what happened. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Is that we didn't even receive an error? That's what's weird in here. That's what's weird. Okay, so let me do console already hacked. Yeah, exactly. Already fucking hacked. All right. So connected as player in DeFi. All right. Oh, okay. So essentially, what I have to do, I have to do it like that, right? So we managed to connect. Okay, connected as player. I think I just didn't see something. Maybe something was cached, probably. Yeah, yes, there we go. Connected as player 4. This OR doesn't make sense. Connected as player 5. Connected as player 6, and so on and so forth. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right. All right. All right. All right. So interestingly. Okay. So in case of a server, so we need to send the entirety of the state, the entirety of the current state, after we send hello, or maybe with hello, but whatever. We discussed that a little bit off screen on the break, and I have an interesting idea. We probably will need a message that we send to each and individual player when somebody connects, right? So when you connect, we need to notify the rest of the connected player. Okay, new player has connected, here's their ID, here's their position. We need to do that, right? So let's actually even define this kind of message. So maybe export interface player joined or something, right? So, and let's say it's gonna be like a player joined. And in here, we're going to have ID. And it probably makes sense to also provide the position, right? So it's going to be X and Y. So I'm not introducing vectors because I don't want to overcomplicate the, structure of the model yet, right? So we want to keep everything simple, right? So let's implement something working, and then we can start adding maybe classes and stuff like that. Everything should be simple for now. All right, so we probably also need to be able to verify that message, and that message we're going to be constructing that message on a server and sending it to the client, so the client will need a function to verify that this is a correct interface. All right, can I just do something like query replace hello player joined? Okay, so in here we have ID, then we have X, and then we have Y. You could have just generated that stuff in TypeScript. Right, you could generate those things somehow. Excuse me. I wonder if I can actually extract this kind of thing to a separate function of some sort, a similar one actually. Is number, right? Arg any, arg is number, and this is where we can just do that. Return that. And this is that. So is number. I think we can do something like this. Yeah. So then we can do is number. Boom. I think we can do that. Yeah, so it doesn't compile. So what's up with that? So file changed. Oh. Okay, so I think it compiles. I just had a little bit of a brain fart. Okay, so everything's fine. So is player joined? Right, so we're gonna have this kind of message. We're sending it to everyone every time somebody joins. So, and my idea essentially, when somebody new connected, we send them hello, effectively assigning new ID to them so the client knows who they are. And then we're starting to send them a sequence of player joined, player joined, player joined for the rest of the players. And we do that only for the one who just joined so they can restore the state of the game. Right now, the state of the game is extremely simple. You either have a player in the list or don't. Right. So, and essentially what we're doing, we are just sending a sequence of events for the new player to build up the correct state of the game. That's what we're doing. And I saw somebody in the chat saying that, like, I want to send all of the events that happened before. This is not what I mean, by the way. This is not what I mean. I'm sending only events that is needed for the new player to restore the correct state of the game. For example, you have n players right now. I will just send n player joined so you can restore this state correctly. I'm not going to send all of the events who joined like 10 hours ago or something. Like, I'm not going to do that. Like, why? It's a waste of time. So I'm going to just only send you player joined for the players who are currently online. That only makes sense. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. And it's going to be the same message that we're going to be sending to notify people that somebody joined, right? It's the same kind of stuff. So we don't really need like a separate mechanism in here, which I think is kind of good. I think it's kind of good. Anyways, so let me see how we're going to be doing that. So I really don't like this asynchronous nature of JavaScript. So I'll probably need some sort of a freaking loop on a server that, you know, simulates the state of the game. So obviously I don't have a request animation frame in here or anything like that. So I'll probably be using set timeout, right? So this is a set timeout, this kind of thing. Right. And I'm probably going to be counting the ticks, right? So we're going to have a function maybe called tick. Right, and we call this function for the first time. And how often do we call it? So we probably need some sort of like FPS on the server. Right, so server FPS. Let's actually run the FPS, the server at 30 FPS. Right, let's run it at 30 FPS. And so as far as I know, set timeout uses milliseconds, doesn't it? I think it does. Yeah, it uses milliseconds. So we have to divide 1000 by server FPS, right? So that's what we have to do. And we have to do that on each tick. So we have to like reschedule that over and over again. So yeah. So the thing I want to do, like if I were programming in a normal fucking language, right? In a normal proper language, I would have an event loop, right? I would have an event loop. And within that event loop, the first thing I would do, I would just collect all of the messages that I received in here, just collect all of them, put them into the buffer, and then I would just process them within a single tick, right, and send the output messages to the client, right? So I would somehow synchronize all of that, right? I would somehow synchronize all of that. Maybe this is something that I can do. You don't use centerval over set timeout. I don't know what's the difference between set interval and set timeout. Set interval. So what is a set interval? So let's actually see. Let's actually read about them. It doesn't really matter. I just need some looping. Method offered on the window. Okay. Repeatedly calls a function or executes. Ah, okay. So just repeatedly calls this function. We can do set interval. It's just like I'm using this paradigm because this is what you do in request animation frame. So all right, so set interval. So it's going to be repeatedly called. So I think this is something I can do here as well. So is it going to be, yeah. The fixed time. Actually, I want to use set timeout because it kind of gives me more control when I want to stop and not schedule the, another one. I know that in set interval it probably returns you some sort of an ID that you can stop and stuff like that. But within this logic, it's kind of easier to just like never call this and stop. All right, I'm going to be using set timeout. I think it's kind of like I already got used to this mental model of the frames, so it's just easier for me to use it. So essentially, JavaScript is single-threaded, and it also has an event loop, and it's asynchronous. It just like processes the tasks like on each iteration. What we can do, right? So essentially, all of these callbacks are going to be fired at some point within JavaScript's runtime event loop, and then after they processed and stuff like that, maybe a tick will be fired up, right? And then again and again and again. So it's not something like, it's probably never going to be that I'm running a tick and then in the middle of the tick it will jump into one of these handlers like on close or on receive message. We're probably going to have something like on message in here. As far as I know, this is not how JavaScript works. It's like, it's not an interrupt in a C sense. Right, so it's never going to be that I'm running something here, in the middle of running something here, it will just jump into the message, right, do something in here and jump back. It's probably not going to happen, otherwise this language will be very difficult to program in. Otherwise it would be very difficult to program in, right? So you will have to have some sort of a synchronization and making sure that there's no race conditions or something like that. And since it's a language for newbies, they will try to avoid introducing a possibility of doing race conditions. You can still have them, but I mean, whatever. So what I can do, what I can try actually, I can try to have a queue of events, right? Event queue, some sort of event queue. So, and every time I receive some sort of events, right? Every time I receive some sort of events, I'm not going to be sending them out or handling even them in these listeners. I'm going to be appending these events into this buffer, then handling all of these events in here, right? In event, maybe off event queue. And then I'm gonna be just doing something like this. So this is basically how we're gonna be sort of synchronizing everything. So we have fixed ticks. So server has fixed ticks, right? So fixed ticks like that. And while it's waiting for the next tick to fire up, we receive messages from the clients and we just accumulate them. We don't even handle, we don't do anything, we just accumulate all the messages until the next tick fires up. Tick fired up, we look at everything we just buffered and we start processing them within a single tick. So I'm trying to synchronize this kind of thing by ticks, right? You know what I'm talking about? So it's not all over the place and turns into spaghetti, right? So I'm trying to like mentally do that. So I think it could be a good approach, right? So then here specifically, we're sending out the hello right away in here, which might be not a good idea. So this is something that we'll probably have to do something in here, right? For somebody, for one of the events. And the thing we can do, we can just say event queue, push, and we're going to push the player joint. Yeah, so this is what we're going to do, player joint. Something like this. And we're going to be sending hello already in here. I think this is how I want to go about it. So come on, player joint. So we have X and Y. So here's X, player Y, and also player ID. Can I, by the way, do something like this? Nah, it's actually kind of convenient to just use ID like that. Yeah, it's very convenient. But maybe it's also convenient to factor out these things like that, to separate functions and something like this, so then later I can do shit like that. And then boom, 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 boom. And then maybe even boom, boom. Look at that. Isn't that progress? I think that's pretty freaking progress. Look at that. It's so compact. Holy shit, it's so compact. Bro, so compact. Anyways, so we're gonna be pushing that stuff, right, and everything. Yeah, so we're gonna be handling this stuff. But we don't even know what's the type of the event queue. What's the type of this thing? It's a player joins. But then, what if we're gonna have more events? So we'll probably have to, you know, I don't know, player start moving or something like that. So yeah. So for now we only have one thing in here, so it's probably gonna be fine. It's probably gonna be fine. It's fine. Chat, it's gonna be fine. Trust me. Chat, trust me. It's gonna be fine. So anyway, so what we're gonna be doing here? Here we're gonna be doing switch upon event. We don't even have a kind in here, right? We do have a kind because we already So let me see. So it's any. This is disgusting, my friend. So because the player joined, it's the type within the common. So we have to do import player joined from common MGS. That's the shit we have to do. Bruh. Okay. So if I go, okay, so that seems to be working. And in here, if I try to access the kind, yeah, boy, look at that. Look at that. We got him. Got it. All right. So what we're going to do in here is a player joined. Yeah, player joined. I said player joined. And then what we're going to do, we only want to send this kind of shit to the player. But we don't have a socket anymore because we moved away out of that place where we had a socket of the player. How do I get the socket of the player now? Fuck. I can just associate this motherfucker with the player. Fuck you. Okay. This is just so fucking easy. Look at that. Look at that. Look. Bam! I have a socket. I've got a socket. I've got a freaking socket. Alright, so that means I can just do something like, so it's an event. Alright, so in a ID, fuck. What if I actually, okay, so I don't really need to identify players by the socket. Here, I already know the socket of the player. Here, I can get the socket from the player. So this is kind of a stupid map. Like, I don't need to do that. I need to do that. Yeah. No, I don't even need two maps. Look. Within handling connections, I know that the socket of the player is this. I know that. And in here, in a separate tick, I have an instance of the player. I can get the instance of the player by ID, and the instance of the player has the socket. Like, I don't need two maps. I only need one. This is actually kind of interesting. Right, so at first I thought I will need to I like have a map from socket connection to the player, but in fact it's actually completely redundant. You don't need that. You don't need that at all. Wouldn't this be open to ID spoofing? No. So let me see. So what do we have in here? 25. Are you enjoying Germany these days? I've never been in Germany. What are you talking about? All right, so 25. What's that? So it's saying something. Trailing comma. Okay. Okay, 28. So here we're setting. Okay, so I have to set ID to the player. 31. All right, so kind player joined. Ooh, oh yeah, look at that. Since we said that event queue is player joined and player joined has to be player joined, I can't, like, it caught like a typo in here. Right, so 39 was the next thing, and we're deleting the ID. Yeah, boy. 47. Okay, so here's an interesting thing. So in event, we do have ID, which means I can do players get by ID. So I get const player, but there is a potential risk of getting undefined. So if I received an event for the ID of the player that doesn't, for the player that doesn't exist, right? So what do I do in this case? There's nothing much I can do in this case. I suppose I can just skip this entire stuff, right? So we can just like, yeah, whatever. Okay. And so this player is going to be in the map because we adding it right away, right? So as soon as somebody joined, we adding them, we registering them in a table. So now I can send hello to that player, right? So just do player WS, and WS is a part of the player. We're sending them hello. That's very cool. So no value exists in the scope ID 51. Okay, so 51 ID, it has to be the player ID. All right, that's pretty cool. So the next thing we have to do. We need to restore the entirety of the state of for the player. So we get some subs, by the way. It's what? Let me see. Yes, Jack Betan, thank you so much for Twitch Prime. Also Gigantify with a emote. I don't know what it is. It's a new feature of Twitch. I don't know what it means. Mr. Realm Grinder, thank you so much for Twitch Prime. Hello, Mr. Zozin. Hello, Mr. Realm Grinder. All right, that's pretty cool. So what we want to do, we kind of want to maybe iterate through all of the players, right? So let player of players. Oh man, no, it also has to be, this is very inconvenient. So it's a map. I need to iterate a map. Fuck. Can I do some? Oh, I can do for each. What does it give me? It gives me a value. Look at that. So I can do something like other player, right? Other player. And in here, I can maybe to the current player. So maybe I should rename it to joint player. Right. So this is a joint player and this is a joint player. So I don't confuse it with other players. Joint player. So we have a joint player, we're sending them hello, assigning them their IDs, and then we're iterating through the rest of the players. So other player. But we also have to be really careful. We only want to do that if the other player ID not equal to the joint player ID. Right. So then what we're going to be doing, we're going to be essentially sending the following thing. Stringify. We're going to be sending kind player join. So this is basically the part where I said we're replaying all of these sort of events that happened before. Not all of this, but we're basically sending them the player joined events for each player that already exists. So that's basically the idea here, right? So player joined, right? And then here is going to be ID, the player ID, right? And then we have X, Y. Here's an interesting thing. Wait. We don't send the position over with the hello message. What if, okay, hello just assigns the ID, but player joined actually gives you the state of the player. We might as well just send player joined for the joined player itself, so they know where they are located. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think that's good. So, and also we'll still have to send this event to every other player. Right, we'll have to send it to every other player, but this is where we'll need to check when the other player ID not equal to joint player ID, right, to joint player ID. We have to now send other player ws send. It's a little bit confusing, right? So I'm a little bit afraid that maybe I'm gonna confuse myself, but whatever, we're gonna debug it out. So, and we don't even have to do that. We can just send that event. Right. We can just send that event. Interestingly, this is a little bit of redundant. This value is not going to change on each iteration. It's going to stay the same. Maybe we can do something like event string and just factor this stuff out into event string like so. Yeah, so that's a little bit better. So that's a little bit complicated, but maybe it's going to work out. You know. It compiles though. Freaking compiles. All right, let's give it a try. I don't fucking know. So it's probably gonna, you know, crash. But this is good because if it crashes, it will give us more information about what the fuck is going on. Right, which is always good. Which is always good. I really like that. More information. More information. Okay, let's go. Boom. Player 0 connected, player 0 disconnected. Okay, so we received bogus amogus messages. Received bogus amogus message from the... Why hello is a bogus amogus message, mother flipper? How is that, bruh? Is that because hello is now... Okay, let me see. Let me take a look at the client MTS. Yeah, we're specifically checking for hello, and hello, yeah, it's correct, I suppose. I suppose it is correct. So maybe I need to do some other thing. So let me rebuild everything from scratch one more time. Okay, is it recompiling? Okay, that seems to be good. No, it's still considered bogus amogus, even though it is not. His number is wrong. Oh yeah, that's true. Damn, and even, oh my god, freaking TypeScript. Okay, it's fine. Thank you so much. Okay, connected as a player 3. That's pretty cool. So, and I suppose, since we're gonna be receiving the messages, I think we can try to do the following thing. Right, so here we're gonna be expecting the is player joined message, right? So this is what we expect in here. It's going to be event data. Oh, just a message. So, and if we receive something else that is not player joined at that specific state, this is a bogus amogus message, right? So we don't really care about that. Okay, so what we're gonna do? What if we maintain the same kind of, so it doesn't, what don't you like? Declared but never used. Okay, so we don't need that stuff. What if we maintain the same kind of table, right? So essentially players, which is going to be a map from, yeah, so we should create it right away from like something like this, right? So it's going to be new. So, but we don't have a player, by the way. We don't have a player. So let me see. Can I move the player? Fuck, I can't. It has a socket, chat. The player is not associated with the socket on the client side. On the client side, we have only one socket. We don't have a socket per player. How can we share this kind of shit? Can we just like factor out this stuff? Is that going to work? I don't know, maybe it will. All right, so what errors do we have in here? So client, and then, OP, exactly. We're doing OP, proper OOP. OOOOOOOP. Okay, so what do we have in here? So fly check. And here we'll import types for sure. So it's going to be player from, come on, GS, come on. All right, so, and in here, every time we are receiving player joined, what we're going to be doing is essentially players message ID, and in here we're going to just do ID message ID, X message X, Y message Y. Yo, mother flipper, yo, mother flipper, yo, mother flipper, yo. Okay, so it compiles. Ah, fuck. Property doesn't exist in player with. Really? Are you fucking serious, mate? How? But it's a. I know why. Because it's a freaking TypeScript. Yeah, boy. Compiles. Right, let's restart this shit. Honestly, like, we don't have a way to know what players have connected. Wait a fucking second. If this works correctly, that means at any given moment we already have a list of the players and we know their positions. We can already fucking draw them. Chat, we can see them. Chat, we can fucking see them. We just need to implement the code. It's fucking canvas time. Fucking right. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Okay, so we already have a canvas, so let's do game canvas, and we're going to do document get element by IDs nuts, right? So it's going to be game, and in here game can be undefined or not. Canvas equal undefined. I think it returns undefined in case of a failure. Yeah, oh, it returns null. Okay. Throw new error. No element with ID game. Yeah. But here's the thing. We won't be able to get context here because it has to be HTML canvas thing. So we have to cast it to HTML canvas element or null, right? And only then we'll be able to do get context to the const ctx, and if ctx is equal to null, we're going to throw an error yet again. 2D canvas is not supported. All right. So ctx, I would like to set the ctx to the size of this world. Don't we have a size of the world or something? Damn, we already have a size of. We literally can do that. So look. I can even probably do it somewhere here. Game canvas. So, and it's synchronized between, like, we share a lot of code. Well, not that much code, but I mean, yeah, we basically share the model, the data model between server and the client, and you can clearly see that. I really like that. So it's going to be common world width. All right, and this is height. This is height. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. So that's pretty progress, my friend. That's pretty progress. So everything seems to be fine. Okay, let me try to refresh this entire thing. And do we have a okay, so this is the canvas, and the size of the canvas, I didn't see that, is 800 by 600, which is the size of the world. Right, perfect, perfecto. Okay, so let's go to the console. And now we want to organize the rendering and shit. So here we have request animation frame, window. Can you just, yeah, this is what a request animation frame. So, and we can't specify the timeout. Yeah, so we have to have something like a frame. Okay, frame like this, and it accepts the timeout. So we need to keep track of the previous timeout, otherwise we won't be able to know the delta time, chat. So we won't be able to know the delta time. So we need to keep track of this thing. So that means we need to waste one frame. I know that it's too wasteful, but we must waste one single first frame so we know the previous timeout. Not really timeout, but timestamp. I think it's called timestamp. So we need to waste it so we know this kind of stuff, the delta time. So let's call timestamp. Timestamp. And we're gonna just do something like this. So we're gonna say previous timestamp is equal to the timestamp, and we're gonna reschedule request animation frame one more time. Look at that. So in here, chat, what we can do, we can finally compute delta time, which is the current timestamp minus the previous timestamp. But all of that is a mother flipping milliseconds, so we have to divide it by 1,000. And also, for some reason, this thing complains. I don't know why the fuck it complains. It's because it doesn't know what it is. It's a number. All right. So, and after that, we need to save the previous timestamp again, and we need to reschedule the frame yet again. Look at that. And in here, you can safely draw all of your stupid players. Look at that. Mike Tyson script. Yeah, that's what MTS stands for. Mike Tyson script. It's just like if it crashes, it just bites your ear off instantly. That's how it works. Mike Tyson script. Anyway. So what we need to do, we need to iterate through all the players, right? So I'm going to take the players for each, and yes. So we have a callback. So the callback, okay, it first puts the value. So that means we have players, and in here we just need to render them. Suppose the first thing we want to do, we want to clean everything up. So let's do field style equal to white. And then we're going to do ctx feel rect. Chat. Do you feel wrecked? Oh, got him. So, and what the fuck is going on? Emacs, you scare me. Okay, so after we cleaned everything up, I want to set the color to red. Actually, I want different players to have different colors, right? So we probably have to add the color as part of the state of the player, if you know what I'm talking about, right? So we'll have to kind of do that. There's no way around that. So, anyways, so let me do ctx feel rect, and we know the position of the player, so we can do player x, player y, player x and player y. And do we know the size of the player? I think if we're going to be doing interaction with the player, so maybe they'll be able to hit to each other, the server also has to know the size of the player, so that means it has to be part of the shared state, I think. So let's go to the common MTS, and we're going to do expert const player size. It's not going to be as big as your mom, but yeah, so I think it's going to be small, maybe 30, right? So let's put it like this in here. So it's going to be common. Did I export it? Okay, common player size, eyes, not eyes, size. Right, okay. Oh fuck, it doesn't work. Why doesn't export everything properly? Didn't I? Oh, I forgot to save. Chat, I forgot to save. All right. I forgot to save. Okay, we don't even use delta time in here. Fuck. But I mean, whatever. Cool. So theoretically, it should already kind of work. So let me restart the server, and I'm going to try to refresh the whole thing. I just connected from 2 different browsers. It's just like, yeah. I can now maybe do another one. So, okay. And now there's 3 of them. All right, so now let's go ahead and close this one. Ah, we don't handle the disconnect. Okay. So they're not notified on disconnection. Damn. All right. So let's make a small break, and after the small break, we're gonna add the rest of the events and stuff like that. Right, so we only need to notify about disconnecting, and we also need to introduce the movement, right? So the ultimate part is just like being able to move around, right? And I think shouldn't be that difficult. So the real question is that when I'm moving, right? When I'm moving, how often do I like notify about the updates of the state of other players? How often do I do that? It's a very interesting question, actually. So we'll see. I need to think a little bit. So let's make some break. Okay, so let's notify the players when somebody disconnects, right? So we'll need to create another message, actually. So let's go into the common MTS. So player joined. Let's do something like player left. All right, create a place joined left. What's interesting is that we don't really need to know the position of the left player because it's already gone. So yeah, we don't need to have that. So that's pretty convenient. And now on the server, when I suppose when okay, so the player disconnected, we deleted this thing. And I think what we need to do, we need to basically schedule this event. So player left ID. Right, so that should work, I think. Does it even work? Okay, so yeah. So this is what I'm talking about. So we have to do something like player left. So maybe it would be better to have an alias for this thing, something like event, where we could just say, okay, expert type event, like this, right? So that's basically what, the more events we're gonna have, the more things we're gonna put in here. All right, I think that makes sense. So, and yeah, so this is gonna be event. Okay, so that seems to be compound. Okay, and then here in the tick, if we receive player left, I suppose what we have to do, we have to just send that event to everybody. So it doesn't make any sense to get the player itself by ID because it's already removed from the table. We already unregistered that. So the only thing that is left in here is to maybe iterate through all of the players and just forward that message to them. Just forward that message to them. So the player has the WS, and we're going to be sending, you know, the JSON stringify the event itself. But I mean, we can cache that. We can just like cache event string, like so, event string, because we don't really want to call stringify on each iteration for each player. It's kind of wasteful a little bit. Right, it's kind of wasteful. So, and yeah, that's about it. Does it compile? I think it seems to be compiled. So on the client, we also have to handle that. So if, else if, I would say, else if. All right. Common is player left. Neighbors are doing something. It's at almost 2 a.m. and these motherfuckers are doing something. So we're gonna do players delete message ID. Okay. Let's give it a try. So we probably need to restart the server. Okay. Okay. All right, so it's just like we notify them. So, all right, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So we need to move around and shit. So the way I usually model moving around, right? So let's start with the model, right? Because it's going to be the same between client and server. So I usually have like a 4 booleans, like moving left, and it's like a boolean in here. Moving right, moving up, and moving down. And on each update of the player, I just check whether we're moving left, right, or not, and just accumulating the velocity vector and then updating the position of the player based on that. So yeah, but I think it would be much better to just have a direction thingy, right? Just have a direction thingy. And it's gonna be basically, we're gonna have 4 direction: left, right, up and down, right. And I think, if I remember correctly, TypeScript allows you to do these kind of things. So you can have like typed direction and just something like boolean. I think you can do something like this. Oh yeah. Oh, it's kind of stupid. You kind of have to say k in direction, or maybe just key in direction. Moving is missing type. So where is it complaining? Oh, it's complaining on the server, by the way. It's complaining at 25. Ah, okay, so it's actually kind of good, right? So it's complaining that I created the player, but I didn't initialize the moving. Right, so it's a little bit better to have it like that. So then it's more abstract, and if you add more direction in here, you don't have to modify this part anymore. So I think it's a little bit more convenient. So moving here, and we need to set all of the directions to left, right. So you'll have to modify this part, but the compiler will tell you to modify it. So it's actually very, very much easy that way. False, boom. Look at that. Can your Vim do that? Can your Vim do that? All right, so what are we having here? So the client is interesting. So 34. Aha, we have to do the same. Look at that shit. We have to do the same. So I might as well even copy paste some stuff, right? So that's the beauty of sharing the code in a statically typed language. You updated the model, the compiler forces you to update both client and server. Can your JavaScript do that? I don't fucking think so. You will only find out about that in a runtime in production. Oh ho ho ho. Sorry. I'm sorry for being extra annoying today. Anyways. What I was doing. So we have this kind of shit, right? And I suppose we can introduce a new event that updates one of the directions. So essentially, let me show you. Expert function player moving. Not function, interface, I'm sorry. It's an interface. And obviously we need to have a kind, right? So the kind is one of a kind. So this is the kind. ID, right? So we need to identify who's moving. And moving will notify you that one of the fields of moving have changed. It doesn't tell you that the new position arrived. It just tells you that, okay, player start moving. Or maybe we're also going to use the same event for stopping moving, right? So maybe we're going to say something like start boolean, right? It will tell you whether player started moving or stopped moving. So if it started moving, you have to set that moving part to true. If it stopped moving, you have to set it to false. It's sort of like a delta specifically on the moving bits, right? That's what it is. So you have moving, the ID, the start, and you also need to have the direction, right? So this is going to be the direction. Okay. So, and that's one of the events. It's one of the events that's going to be sent by the player. So this one is rather interesting. Yeah. So we'll have to force the player to set their own ID. I think that's what we'll have to do. But I think I'm fine with that. Anyways. So let's go ahead and just replace left with moving. So we have more fields in here, right? So we'll have ID, which is a number, okay. So we have start, which is a boolean. We don't really have is boolean. We have to introduce that. And we also have a direction, and we don't have is direction, right? So we'll also have to implement that. Right. So, and I think implementing all of these things is going to be very beneficial for us. Yeah, we don't have boolean. Okay, implementing this boolean is easy. Look. Just look. Number boolean. Boom. Implement it. You don't need templates if you can copy paste. Trust me, chat. Anyways, so is direction. So somehow we need to check. We need to check that the string is one of those, but we want to check that in a very generic way. So if we modify the direction, we don't forget modify is direction. So let me see. So here we have arg, which is any, and this arg is direction. So how can we do that? How can we do that? I have an interesting idea. Look, in a client, we keep referring to this thing. What if I factor this thing out into moving like so? So it's going to be interface moving. So it doesn't like something in here. Oh, it was not an interface. Yeah, you have to do stupid shit like that. Yeah, so this is what you have to do. Right, so you have moving. And then we can create something like default moving, which is basically everything set to false in here. Look at that. So then later, it is super easy for you to do something like common default moving. Right, so you can do that on a client, you can do that on a server as well. So we factored out this specific value, but we didn't do that for just no reason. We can now use this specific table to check whether a particular string is a direction string, because that string is going to be present as a key within that table. So that's actually pretty convenient, I think. Right, so we can do something like default moving arg, and it's supposed to be, it should not be undefined, not equal undefined or something. But I mean, it doesn't type check, but we can actually do something like as direction. And I think it type checks. Yeah, there we go. So that's a pretty convenient way to do that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So. And that's how we verify that the string is a correct direction. So, all right, that's pretty useful. Okay, so we can do is player moving and stuff like that. If you have physics-based movement, do you calculate that for each player? Only for your own player, and just let the others be 3D coordinates that there exist in the world? First of all, we are in 2D coordinates, first of all. So whether we calculate it for our everybody, my idea is everybody maintains the state of the game. Server maintains the current state of the game. All of the clients maintain the state of the game and occasionally just sync it up. So essentially, server and client should run the same code that simulates the entirety of the world. So everyone simulates everything. So that's basically how I see that. Maybe it's not the right way to do that. Again, I never developed anything like that. But this is something that I want to try right now. So I'm planning to do CSP for reconciliation interpolation. I have no idea what these words mean. Anyway, so let me see. So when we are receiving join, is player moving? This one is rather interesting. So I have an idea. I want to implement in a common module, I want to implement a function update player, which accepts the player, and also accepts the delta time. Right, and it's going to be shared between client and the server, and the client and the server are probably going to be using different delta times, and we have to take delta time into account. Right, so what we're going to be doing in here is we need to iterate all of that stuff. Okay, so we need another table in here. I want to have a table direction vectors, right? So, and it's going to be a thing where the key is a direction, but the value is sort of like a vector. So I want to use a simple vector, vector2, which is going to be an interface. Maybe it could be something like this. I wonder what's the difference between type foo and interface foo. There's obviously a difference between them, but I can't figure out which one, so whatever. So it's going to be x number, y number, right, something like this. So we have that, and in here I should be able to define all of the vectors. So left, so we move into the left, so it's x minus 1, y 0, so we have that. So then right is 1, then 0 minus 1, 1. We can even realign. Can you redo that? I fucking think so. Anyway, so we have direction vectors, and the way I want to do that, how do I iterate an object? I think I do it like that. So it's maybe dir in direction vectors. Direction vectors. And if player moving in that direction, so what's up with that? Ooh, this is an annoying part of TypeScript, right? You can't. Yeah, you have to do some stupid shit like let dir direction or so. Yeah. Anyways, so if it's moving, we need to keep track of delta x, right? So it's going to be 0, and this one is going to be 0. So in here, essentially, plus direction vectors, direction x, yeah, and this is y. So we're just iterating, we're just checking all of the direction where player is potentially moving, and we're accumulating the velocity vector. And after that, we take in the player, and we add dx, multiply it obviously by delta time. So that's it. So this is the piece of code that is very important, and I expect to run this piece of code on both client and server. Right, it's going to be the same logic. If I modify something within this piece of code, that will affect the physics simulation on everybody. Client, server, doesn't matter. It's the shared logic. That's how they know that they're simulating the same thing, by running the same code. Right, if I were implementing that in a proper programming language like C, C++, or Rust, I would probably compile it down to WebAssembly. Right, so it should be the same. So, and I don't want to modify the same piece of code in two places. So we have that. So that's pretty cool. Anyways, so when the player is moving, all right, so let's now handle the messages. So this should be the server chat. We're looking at the server. So this is, we are looking at the connection callback. So this is not a tick. So here at this point, we're just accumulating the events that we're going to handle on the tick. Right, that's what we're doing here. Cool. So on the message, we have raw data. I have no idea what the fuck is that. So it's probably the stuff. So this is the data. And I suppose the thing I can do in here is just parse that data, right? And this is going to be a message. So, and I should be able now to check common is player moving. So I expect the client to send player moving message, which just contains information about the ID, whether you started moving or stopped moving, and the direction where you started or stopped moving. Okay, so if this is a correct message, we're gonna be, yeah, we're gonna add it into the event queue. Here's the thing. How do we know? Like, we need to verify that the ID that is sent in that message equal to the ID, to the correct ID. Imagine if some client sent player moving, but used somebody else's ID. So this is something that we need to check actually. So if message ID is not equal to the player ID in here, I suppose we have to kick that person out, right? So we're gonna just literally do WS close. So so we can do something like console player ID tried to cheat by sending message this one, right? So, and we instantly close and we don't do anything. Otherwise, right? So we just schedule that message, right? So we do queue, event queue push, and just straight up, yeah, just put it in there. Since it's called event, that's fine. All right, if we encounter something else, we can say that this message is bogus amogus, right? So received bogus amogus message from client, and we're instantly closing that client. Fuck that client. Just closing them. So we can also specify the ID of the client, so we know what the fuck is going on. All right. So yeah. Okay. So we collected it into event queue. Now we're gonna be handling this thing. All right. So case player moving. Right. So that's what it is. And in here we need to find the corresponding player. So we can do message ID const player players get. If somehow we got an ID that is not the player, there's something really wrong going on in here, but I mean, there's nothing much we can do in this case. We can't even ban anyone because we don't even have a socket, right? Because we didn't get anyone. So in that case, I can just only skip this entire thing. All right, so we're gonna be just skipping that. So once we get the player, so what we have to do, we have to take its moving, and then depending on the direction, we either start or stop moving. That's what we do. We either start or stop moving. And after that, I suppose we need to modify the rest of the mother flippers. So for each player, which is the player WS, send, yeah, literally event string. And let's actually just take this kind of stuff in here. And so we just send in everyone. So we just sending that to everyone. Isn't that poggers? I think it's pretty poggers. So this compile. Well, it almost compiles. Okay. Yeah, 89. Oh, it's a semicolon. Okay. Jesus, bro. Okay. Oof. So raw data is not assignable to parameter. So there's a kind of a difference between freaking on and messages. What if I do add event listener instead? Is that something different? So flight check mode is not enabled, right? So it doesn't like data. And in event listener, yeah, so this is event. And inside of the event, we can just take the data. Yeah, I should probably use add event listener. So what you don't like in here? Data is not assignable. Can I do toString in that case? Okay. So data is data. I mean, it's a, for fuck's sake. It's one of the strings, but whatever. So message, I see. We need to know, we need to now add player moving to one of the events. Player moving is now one of the events. So now this thing should compile. Okay, so 90. So what's up with that? Oh, it's actually event. Event. Right? Compiles. Seems to be compiling. So it's not gonna do anything particularly interesting per se, honestly, because we're not updating the players. We're not updating the players. But I think we should. Okay, so in the tick, after we handled all of the events in the buffer that we're accumulating in the callbacks from the WebSockets, after this entire handling, what we have to do is to do the physical simulation. We have to do the physical simulation. We take all of the players. We just do for each of them. So this is the player. And in here, we just do the common algorithm between the client and the server, right? So we update the player like so, and we have to provide the delta time. So we know the server FPS, right? So and I assume the delta time to be in seconds, not in milliseconds. So that means in here, I have to divide it by, 1 over server FPS. Right, server FPS. Do I need to know the server FPS on the client? I don't think so, actually. I don't think so. Right, so set timeout is a motherfucker. It takes in milliseconds, but here I assume in seconds because it makes it a little bit easier to do mathematical computations. So yeah, that's basically what's going on in here. So we're just updating these things. And yeah. So, you know what's interesting, actually? It would be kind of nice. It would be kind of nice to. So we're sending player moving to all of the players to notify that somebody started moving. But it would be also kind of cool to use that event as sort of like a keyframe for the movement. What I mean is that, listen. Let me see. Player moving. What if it also contained the current player position? What if it also contained the current player position? So essentially, you receive an event that says player started moving, and also you receive its current position so you can synchronize it. So when the player stops moving, you receive the position where the player was when it stopped moving. You don't receive their position between the events when it starts moving and stop moving, but you receive their position on these keyframes. For the rest of the stuff, you kind of interpolate. Yo, I was thinking, how often do we synchronize all of this stuff? What if we only synchronize on key events? And on just movement and wandering around and stuff like that, we just assume like simulation. Yo, this is actually kind of cool. So, and since we're using the same code for simulating on both client and server, it can be kind of similar. They can be close. They're gonna be close. Should be okay. Yeah. So for the situations when the two players move continuously for a very long time without synchronization, we can do a very interesting thing. What if we just like randomly pick a pair of the players and just randomly synchronize them every tick? Not everyone with everyone, but a random pair each tick. So we synchronize the positions on key events, right? So when key event happens, that player says, okay, I'm currently at that position. And also once in a while, we randomly pick a pair and we just synchronize them. Yeah, it kind of goes into decentralization and stuff like that, right? So, so yeah, that's kind of interesting. But the fact that we're using this event for both notifying the server that client starts moving and also for notifying clients that somebody starts moving, it's kind of concerning, right? So, because look, you have to supply an ID. ID is only needed when we notify the clients. The server doesn't give a shit about ID because it knows the ID of that client. And this is the reason why, by the way, we do this weird validation with bogus amogus messages, right? So that's the reason why we do that. But now we also edit X. So that means the player can lie about not only their ID, but also about their position. So we also need to validate that. But do we need to validate that? That's the real question in here. Do we need to validate that? Or maybe it has to be two separate messages. The one that is sent from the client to the server that doesn't contain, ID X and Y because server already knows them. And the one that is sent from server to the rest of the clients that contains ID X and Y. I think the code is trying to tell us that these two things should be separate messages. This should be like, okay, so this is the thing that you sent from the client to the server to notify, okay, I'm starting to move in that direction or stop in moving in that direction. And this is the one that server sends to, yeah, I'm moving, yeah, why not? So, I'm moving. Right, so like you kind of need that, right? Because so when you send it from client to the server, that is information that server already fucking knows about you from just your connection. You don't need to send that. If you force people to send that, you introduce more surface area for line and bugs and stuff like that. These things should be separate. Okay, so I think this stuff has to be separate. That actually kind of makes sense. All right, so and in here, let's do replace player moving. I'm a moving. I'm a fire in Malaysia. Oh, by the way, I also need to add X and Y in here. Okay, so it's gonna be X and this is gonna be Y. All right. Okay, so this is a separate thing. Yeah, I'm a moving. Okay, now in a server, when we receive a message, we're not receiving is player moving. We don't care. We're receiving is I'm a moving, right? And that means we don't even have to verify. Look, message doesn't even contain ID. And in here, what we have to do, we have to send a kind player moving, and we can specify the ID. It's the ID of this thing. X and no, it has to be taken from the player, right? So player X, Y, player Y, and what is the rest of the stuff? Start is the message start. Honestly, we could have extended player moving as I'm a moving, but I think it's not a productive way to think about it, because it may change in the future. So this is direction and this is direction. Yeah, there we go. So server receives I'm a moving and then transforms it into player moving and handles it on the next tick. That's a good way to think about it. And that's a very good way to think about it. I really like that. What's interesting is that this the client sends I'm moving and it will receive back player moving with its ID to confirm that server actually agrees, right? So it confirms that server receives that message. Right. So I'm not sure how the random reconciliation will work on long key presses. I'm interested to find out. Yeah, it's kind of interesting, but I don't think I'm going to be implementing it today, right? So we're probably going to implement that a little bit later. Okay. So what else do we have in here? So the compile, it seems to be compiling. So I need to update the player, the client specifically. I need to update the client. So when I receive, I also need to receive the is player moving, right? Is player moving. When the player is moving, what I have to do is essentially get the player ID, right? So I need to get the player's ID, who's currently moving. So it's going to be players get message ID. So this is the client already, right? On the client, we receive player moving. We get the player associated with that ID, right? And we updating their movement. So it's gonna message direction start, right? And it doesn't like something in here because we never checked if the player is undefined. So player undefined. Okay. So if server send us an ID of the player that we do not recognize, there's some bug with the server or some bug with the client. At that point, I guess we received a bogus amogus message yet again. We can maybe elaborate what exactly is wrong in here, right? We don't know anything about player with ID, message ID, right? So bogus amogus message. So if it's equal to none, it still doesn't like something in here. Possibly undefined, but didn't I check if it's oh yeah, I probably have to do return, right? So because this is so in case we just return, and here there we go, everything's fine. Yeah, we don't have to delete anything obviously, right? So here we start moving or stopping moving, doesn't really matter. But message on top of that contains X and Y, so that means for that specific player we can just synchronize their X and Y. Right, so we received the message that indicates whether the player started moving or stopped moving. It contains X and Y of that player from the authority, from the server, and we synchronize it instantly. So this is the point at which we're synchronizing this stuff. All right. So, and in here, as we render the players, look, we're iterating them. And nothing really stops us to update them, right? Because we have the same code that the server uses to update them. Right? We can do player, and we can use data time. Finally, the use for data time. So finally, the use for data time. It does compile. It seems to be compiled actually. So okay, we can get notified by the movement, but we don't know how to send that we're moving, right? So we need to handle the key presses. Right, let me go to raycasting. Right, let me go to raycasting, and in a raycasting, so this is what we'll need in here. I think I'm gonna copy paste this entire thing, right, from the raycaster. So in here, when I'm moving up, you know what, can I have a mapping, something like key bindings, direction keys, right? So here we have a key in direction, right? And direction is a type from the common. Emacs, could you please stop? Thank you very much. Okay, so and in here we're gonna have a string, right? And so essentially what I can do, I can say that left is arrow left, boom, up, boom, and could replace up, down, boom, something like that. So now, when I get the code, I can do direction keys eCode, right? And so this is the... Actually, I'm an idiot, so it has to be the other way around, right? So we have to, you know, do something like this. Look. Can your Vim do that? Can you really do that? I fucking think so. I really don't fucking think so. Chat, for those who was sleeping, I'm gonna show you one more time. Look. Can your Vim do that? Can it do fucking shit? So here, so essentially this is just that. I suppose this has to be just a string into directions. My intelligence can do that. Okay, whatever. So it's string, it refers to a type. but is used as a key value. Can you do something like this? Oh, hell yeah. So it also direction locally, but not exported. Okay, so let's go here. So let's export all that stuff. Okay, so this is the key. Okay, so we have direction keys. So now we can do direction, and if direction is not equal to null, what do we do? We are about to send something very important. So first of all, I think we have to, depending on our player, we could just get. All right, let's go ahead and just do the sending. Send JSON stringify, and we're gonna have a kind which is AMA moving. What do we have in there in AMA moving? So we have start. So since key down, it is start in fact, and direction is direction. Though we can just call this thing direction. Is it fine? What you don't like in here? No value exists in the scope. Are you fucking serious? So you don't like something? Oh, it's undefined actually. Okay, undefined. Are you fine now? Oh, it's too many equals. Yes, why doesn't it compile? This is JavaScript, right? You're supposed to write like that in JavaScript, right? So this is a valid JavaScript. The more equals you have, the better, right? So the stronger typed it is, right? So that's how it works. Okay, so we need something like this. And on a key up, we have to just put false in there, right? It's kind of the same, but just false. Does it compile? It doesn't even fucking compile. Okay, so something about the players. 4, 14. Oh, okay, so everything compiles. All right, so I don't see what else do we need in here, honestly. I don't see what else do we need in here. I think that's basically it. I feel like that's basically it. Okay. Didn't work. Okay, let me take a look at the console. Perl has this separate. I think this is matching the regular expression, if I remember correctly. I programmed a little bit in Perl. On one of the jobs, we had Perl in like as part of the tooling. Yeah, so I kind of vaguely remember that. All right, so something is sus. Something is sus. So here's the arrow. It really didn't work, honestly. And we didn't even receive any new messages, so it really didn't send them. So we didn't send them, and the server didn't receive them. We don't even log that, right? So I think on the server we have to at least try to log that. So received message from player ID, and the message is message, right? So this is something that we have to do in here. All right. Okay, and if I do up, received message object, it didn't even render it properly. Yeah, so probably have to do something like this. Received message, blah blah blah. One more time. Wait. Oh shit. It works. It worked for up and down, But then it doesn't work for left and right. Yo, it works. It's alive. Okay, that's very interesting. So for left and right, it didn't work. So direction keys. Let me see. So maybe I fucked up something. So raycasting. You only scroll the page. Oh fuck. Okay. So I just scrolled the page. It didn't actually work. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a fake one. All right. So we did on a server we did receive I'm moving. Right. We did in fact receive. We logged that and stuff like that, and then we moved into here. Player moving. When the player moving. We get the players. We updated this stuff. And we want to send this thing back to everyone. When the client said prediction, we already implemented it. So this is bizarre. I don't understand. Like it should add that to the event, but we didn't receive it in here, right? So. So let's say received event. So let me see. I'm gonna restart this thing. It's horrible to test a debug. True. Yeah, we received event. Everything's fine. Then event string. So I don't see us sending them. Like, why didn't we receive it back? That's the real question. We should have received it back, so I don't see any problem. I don't see any problem. Right. So everything is correct in here. So we're sending it back. So that means something on the client. Right. So is player moving? So we get the player. All right. So maybe we should log this thing in here. Let's actually log all of the messages we received. Received the message. All right. So maybe something is wrong in here. Okay, we're receiving them. We're actually receiving them. But it's... Are we actually updating shit? That's the real question. Maybe... Oh, by the way, I can probably see that even. They're not updating. And the reason why they're not updating is because I'm a dummy dum-dum. It's equal to 1, for fuck's sake. Alright, so probably have to... Let's introduce player speed. It was moving. It was just moving very slowly. Okay, so maybe something like this. Alright, let's go. Okay, it is updating. So... Alright, look at that. Look at that, look at that. So it's moving and stuff. And now, the moment of truth. So, local host. Alright, that's very interesting. It's updating all of them. I think... Damn, this is dumb. Close lol, yeah. I swear to God, if this is because of some stupid shit, like, okay, in this specific case, which player does it return to? Does it refer to? Does it refer to this one, or does it refer to this one? So does this player shadow this one? Other player. Oh, no, wait a second. This should not be the case. Yeah, so here's fine. It is shadowed, like, yeah, that will make sense to me. Okay. So this one is shadowed, so here we're just updating the player. Okay, so maybe something with the clients. For each player, so maybe it's not using ID correctly. All right, let me take a look at what ID is it using. Okay, so this is ID 1, and in here, what do we have in here? Let's refocus. Yeah, it's ID 0. But why are they sharing? This is so stupid, because we don't clone this shit. Remember how I introduced this default moving and being smug? It's like, oh my god, this is so dumb. But I mean, luckily we have a direction vector, so we can just go ahead and replace this thing. Right, so instead of doing that, we have direction vectors, and they're not gonna change, so we can use that instead. Alright, so that was dumb. But I've been streaming already for almost 4 hours, so I think it's fine for me to be dumb. Right, where is this? So we don't have default. Why don't you show me? Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. So this is going to be left. So we have to have separate things in here. Right, up, and down. And this is the server, of course. And in here, default. Okay, everything seems to be compiled. Cool. Alright, so we have. Are we moving around? Are we moving? Are we Gucci? Are we Tamaguchi? Where seems to be Tamaguchi actually, chat. Let's create a second one. Look at that. Hello. Ah! Oh, yeah. Very cool. So I want them to have like a different colors and shit, honestly. I think we could randomize the colors. Deploy to your mom. I'm actually a little bit scared to deploy to my mom. Okay, so let's... it's so fucking fun. It's just like, yeah, it disappears as well. I'm gonna close that. Close that. Damn, this is so cool. It's a little laggy, but meh. Yeah. It is what it is. It's also on my machine because my machine kind of lags a little bit as well. All right, so that seems to be Gucci. You know what? I want to kind of commit whatever I have in here. Right, so git init. Yeah. So maybe git ignore node modules like so, and. Do we need everything? I think we need everything. Okay, so let's actually commit everything just in case, including source maps, why not? Right. Ready, set, go. And I don't have anywhere to push, so it's fine. Okay, so let me think. We need to add colors, I suppose. We need to have colors, so this is going to be common MTS and interface player. So we can actually make the server assign style to you. HSV is a good idea, I really like that. So let's not let the clients decide their color, let's let the server, because it will just make it easier to validate, right? So because it's not the string that we receive from the client that we have to make sure that it's safe and stuff like that. It's like one of the predefined string from the server, so you can kind of trust it. So let's call it style. Right, so it's going to be style. And let's go to the server. And in here, so we're going to have flight check mode next, flight check next, next. Yeah, there we go. So style, let's say random style. So this is going to be a function that just returns you a new string. So it's going to be HSV, right? So HSV, CSS style HSV. So let me see. So I would say HSL. That's fine. All right, so it's also in percents. You don't even put, yeah. So the first one is hue, which is in degrees, I suppose, and then the rest of the stuff is in percent. Right, so the thing that we're gonna randomize is math is the degrees. Multiply by 360, and I suppose also want to do math floor. All right, so that's the one thing that we're gonna do in here, and then the rest of the stuff. So saturation, let's make it saturated to 80%, and lightness, lightness let's set to 50%. Right, so this is gonna be that. So does it compile? 41 something doesn't like. So what's up with that? What's up with that? I don't understand, bro. It's not assignable to parameter player with circuit. Style is incompatible. You know, so to number. String. Cool. So now it's client. 42. So I suppose player joint has to be part of the player joint. Okay. Player joint style string. Yeah. And I should not forget, by the way, to add this. Again, if only TypeScript just generated this kind of stuff for me automatically, it's not that hard. Like, it's not even that much code. Bruh. I'm pretty sure there is a very, very good and strong excuse to not do that. I'm pretty sure. So HSL, what do you say in HSL? Why are you saying? Are you trolling me? Oh, HSL, yeah. There we go. What else do we have? So client, what is that? 42 style. So we're receiving that in here. So this is going to be style, message style. Let's go. Cool. And on the server, yet again, 43. So push event. Aha. I see you. Let's do const style. And in here, style. Compiles. So now we have styles. And on the client, when we're rendering this entire stuff, what we're doing, we're setting player style as the field style. So that's how we do that. TS with runtime check, runtime script. Yeah. You can actually kind of feel that TypeScript was created by computer scientists. So they take correctness over convenience every fucking time, every single time. Right, so for them, correctness is way more important than convenience. It's actually kind of funny. So, unlike JS, true. I'm checking this number. Okay, so let me see. Thank you so much. Common. We can actually do something like, let's do is string, string is number string, boom. Okay, that's pretty cool. Let's restart the server. Okay, so it looks like a bogus amogus message. Yeah, so it's a bogus amogus. So we received an object which is player joined, and we didn't receive the style. Yeah, player joined, which is kind of weird. So I swear to God if this is the cache. Right, so yeah, so this is the style, everything's fine. What if the random style is white? No, it will never happen. So we're using HSL. We're not using RGB. We're using HSL. So what HSL stands for? HSL stands for hue, saturation value. Hue is a specific pure color. It's a specific pure color. White is not a color, actually, by the way. So it's a specific pure color, like in rainbow, right? Well, lightness, whatever. Saturation is how much of that color you have, and lightness is how bright it is. To encode white color in this color system, hue doesn't matter. You can put whatever hue you want. Saturation, the amount of color, has to be 0, and lightness has to be 100%. This is how you encode white color in this system. Now look, we always set saturation to 80%, we always set lightness, brightness, to 50%, and we only randomize the hue, the pure color. With this kind of setup, it is impossible to get white at all. It is by design. Lightness is alpha. No, it's not alpha. It's brightness, actually. You guys never worked with HSL? Really? Okay, well, let me actually start up Inkscape. Like, learn how to work with HSL. HSL is really convenient for humans to reason about. RGB is for computers. This is how computers store the color. But for a human being to reason about color, you better use HSV. I'm telling you. Right, so let's actually take this kind of thing, some sort of background. Right, and here I have HSV, right? HSL, HSV, it doesn't really matter. So they work slightly differently, but the principle is the same. Look, I'm increasing the amount of color. It becomes super saturated. I decrease the amount of color, it basically goes towards white. I change the value, it becomes darker, brighter. But then I can fixate the amount of color and the brightness of the color, and then pick the specific hue. This is how you work. This is how hue, saturation, value, lightness, they're slightly different, but it doesn't matter. Alpha, as you can see here, is a separate thing. So this is how this model works. If you're designing something or if you're drawing something, this is how you want to reason about the color, not in terms of RGB. Because this is way more convenient. Because again, you will never get a white color in here. So we fixate saturation and lightness, and we randomize only this part. We randomize only this part. And as you can see on this part, you don't have any white color. Does it make sense? What's the technical difference between HSV and HSL? I don't remember, honestly. I really don't remember. But usually the third one kind of is responsible for how bright or dark or something. There's some differences, but I don't remember. So yeah, in here it should not matter. It should not happen. Yeah, I also use them interchangeably. So okay, so I think there's something with the cache. So player join. Did we receive the style? We still didn't receive the style. So what was the problem, by the way? What was the problem? Oh yeah. Is player joint style string? Oh, I didn't restart. So okay. So we went on a tangent a little bit. So okay. So did we receive shit? We still didn't receive. I received the message. Where is the style? So did I forget to recompile? All right. So let's take a look at the server. On the connection. Okay. So here is the player. and then we queue player joined. Am I going insane, chat? Maybe it didn't recompile. All right. Why don't you send the style? Where is the style? So it's an old player joined. What the fuck is wrong with you? It's I construct one of the player joins manually. Yeah. This is a very dangerous thing. This is a place where you can shoot your leg. So there is no way to, like, at compile time to know that you need to modify this place. This is a very dangerous one. So style, make this place more type safe. Yeah. All right. Okay, here it is. All right, very cool. All right. I don't like this color. Yeah, that's a bit better. Go away. One of the things I want to try to do, by the way, I want to limit for like how, like limit the boundary where you can move. Okay. Add style to the player. Wrap around. We can try to wrap around actually. So, but the wrap around is going to be kind of dumb, if that's okay with everyone. So I can try to do. Where is the update? Okay. So can I just do something like world width, world height? All right, the compile seems to be compiled. Cool. Let's restart it. So essentially here, it didn't work. Excuse me. Okay. Did they? Okay. I'm doing the incorrect thing. I'm already tired. Doing very stupid shit. I want you to do here plus. What is it called? World width. Come on. World height. World height. Okay. Oh my god, it's that mode. Oh, fucking JavaScript. You implemented it as F mode and you couldn't even implement it properly. It's so dumb. Anyways, okay, so proper mode. Swear to God, JavaScript. Okay. So this one is gonna be A number, B number, A plus B, not B. All right, let's go. Cool. Yeah, it's kind of dumb. It kind of teleports it, right? So, but I think it's reasonable enough. Okay. Okay, so let me see. It's kind of cool that now I only modified the common part and it's automatically applied to server and the client, right? To the server and the client. So let's try to do the next thing. Wrap around the players. Okay, so my server is actually kind of weak. So let's try to limit the amount of connections that you can have, right? So let's limit the amount of connections. How many connections do we want to see? How many connections do we want to see? So server MTS. 69 connections. Sounds good, right? So const server connection, const server limit 69 connections. So on, what is it called? All right. Man, I don't remember. So when we join, it's connection. It's yeah, here it is. Okay, when you got a connection, if player's size, is it function? It's a number. If player size is greater or equal to the server limit, we just do ws close and just return. Right. So we're not gonna even say anything, right? So it's just like disconnect. 69%, 10%, yeah. So I don't really know if it will be able to handle this many connections, so I'm freaking out. Okay, so let me see if it's still working. Put them in the queue. I don't know if it's a good idea or not. All right, anyway, so let me maybe go to your mom. All right, let's go to your mom. SSH your mom. So I don't even have TeamUX. So what do I have in here? Git. All right, let's go. Did I commit that? I didn't even commit that. Limit the amount of connections. That's what we have. So what's the name of this thing? What's the name of this thing? So I want to do git init multiplayer game prototype. Right, so we initialized an empty repo in here, multiplayer game prototype. So if I take a look at the status, there is no commit on a branch master. I think here we have a branch main. Right, so yeah, let's see what we can do. So I'm going to do add remote name is going to be origin, and URL is going to be your mom, and within your mom we're going to have git and this multiplayer game prototype. Can I just copy paste this thing in here? So that's basically how you can do that. So yeah, this is the default, and now you can just push that. So I'm pushing over SSH. So in here I think I can just check out main branch, and I've got the source code. So I just pushed git over SSH. You don't need any git servers or GitHubs or anything like that. You can push git push over fucking SSH. That's how it works. That's how Git works. You don't need any Git or anything. Just like buy VPS and you can host your shit there. Right. So the repo is now in your mom. Exactly. We pushed the repo into your mom. Okay, so let's actually install all the dependencies. Let's install all the dependencies. Okay, so can I now maybe, if I take a look at the package JSON, so we don't really have a building process, right? So we don't really have a building process. I want to just start bin TSC. Well, I mean, it already has everything, right? So it already has everything. Interestingly, so there's a little bit of a problem in here. Node modules. Yeah. I don't want to allow you to do that. Now, I wonder if you can do something like this. No, you can't really. Okay, so you can't really go back in here. You can only go forward into node modules, right? So you can only do this kind of shit. So one of the things we can try to do in here, chat, is let me see. Node modules bin HTTPS server help file. So it's something like yeah, show directory listing. I think that's what it is. So watch.js, and in here I'm gonna set just d false. Yeah, etc shadow. But I mean, I'm running under non-root user, so you won't be able to get anything anyway. So, and there's nothing sensitive on that server anyway. So even if it gets hacked, I will just remove it. So it's not that big of a deal on this one. Sounds like a cope, but I mean, it's true. It's actually true. Okay, so if I try to... Oh, look at that! It's a 403. That's so cool. So if you disable listings, it's just 403. It's kind of funny. So, but at the same time, if I do something like bin, I might actually move whatever. Like, I mean, you get an access to node modules. So what? So who cares? So who actually cares? So what's interesting is that if you disconnected, there's no information that you disconnected or anything like that. So there's no info on that. So we probably need to implement that, but I'm already streaming for like 4 hours, so I think I'm not going to be doing that. All right, so let me do the following thing. I'm going to do... oh, we also specify the address in here as 127.0.0.1, so we won't be able to see anything. All right, so... so can I just remove this entire thing? You know what? I feel like I need to have my own command line to start the HTTP server. I think that's what I need to do. So let's do it like this. So the port is going to be that. The address, let's not specify address. I don't remember what is S, but I'm going to leave it just in case. So this is going to be that. This is going to be that. This is going to be that. Right, so this is my thing in here, which I'm running node modules bin. Right, is it going to show anyone's IP addresses? I'm actually not sure. I'm actually not sure if it's going to show anyone's IP addresses, but whatever. So now I'm going to cut SSH config. I'm probably going to regret doing that, but so let's go. Oh, it's actually 6969, so we have to add that manually. All right. Well, I mean, just do HTTP then. Okay, it works. It actually fucking works. So try to connect there, and I just want to see if I see your IPs. So I know that it tries to connect to localhost. It doesn't really matter. So, oh, joined. Okay, joined my... Oh, I can't see IPs because it doesn't log anything, so that's fine. All right, so yeah, I completely forgot about that. So I think this minus like S means that like it don't log anything, right? So that's totally fine. I can live with that. We probably need to change some shit in here because the client doesn't really... Yeah, the problem with the client is that it connects to localhost. So that's a huge problem in here, honestly. Unable to connect, that's fine. That's expected actually. So I disabled it. All right, so let's give it a try. So I'm gonna just like literally put the, where is my SSH config? Right, so we want to be able to just copy paste this stuff. We're gonna just hard code a lot of shit in here. Alright, so it doesn't matter. So this is that. Local host. Okay. And now to the server, MTS, set ft type script. I'm modifying source code like right in the production, right? That's what I'm doing. Local host. Okay, so can I just do that? So I think we don't have any local hosts anymore. TSC. All right, so node bin TSC. All right. Okay, so that recompiled server MGS. Right, so WebSocket. Well, no, where's the other local host? Maybe the server, I think it's gonna be fine. I think it's gonna be fine, whatever. All right, so HTTP server, starting HTTP server, starting the npm run server. I can see you guys already enjoying it. I don't even know where I am. Holy shit. Okay, I can see myself. I think I can see myself. All right, so this is so fucking funny. All right. I'm stopping everything. Everything is stopped. Everything is stopped. Right. All right. So let's actually maybe reduce the amount of like connections, because I think it's too much of the people. All right. So it doesn't make any sense. MTS. So a server limit. Let's say we're gonna have 5 people. All right. TC. Let's rerun this entire thing. Let's run the server, and like, will I be able to actually even connect? I think I won't be able to even see anything. Well, I mean, yeah. So this limitation is too much, right? So it's just like, yeah, we won't be able to see anything. All right, but that was fun. That was fun. So yeah, let's kill this. Let's kill this. All right, so let's run it one more time locally. All right, so locally it is going to be, let's run server. Obviously, I slapped these together in like 4 hours without knowing what the fuck I'm doing. Okay, so obviously it's not perfect by any means. But now we can try to like figure out what kind of problems we have with this kind of system, and yeah, improve it even further. So I just wanted to make like a quick proof of concept of the idea that I want to implement for the game. And yeah, so we'll see where I'm going to move from there. So the next session is probably going to be integration with the main game, right? All right, hope that was fun. Thanks everyone who's watching me right now. I really appreciate that. Have a good one, and I see you all on the next recreation programming session with Ahu and Mr. Azuzin. Love you. Mwah.